Shalom, Shalom, Israel. This is y'all brother Yeshaya. We are currently in the second day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. I wanted to hold on one second. Which way is I'm supposed to be going? All right, straight. All right. I want to pull over for a second because I wanted to read a scripture for y'all. I just didn't want to do it in front of the workers because they, while they're out in the cold working, I'm sitting here in my car, right? But anyway, real quick, just want to read the scripture to you. So, Galatians 5 verse 9, a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump, right? And the reason why I'm reading that scripture is because we are currently in a time of the Hebrew calendar where we are keeping the Passover, the Feast of Unleavened Bread. We are purging leaven from our house. And I gotta tell y'all, it's more important to remove the spiritual leaven than the physical. Now, still remove the physical because you don't want to fuck around and have a moment of weakness, you know what I'm saying, and have your spirit deceive you into eating bread this week. What the hell? You don't want to be deceived into eating leaven. So yeah, you definitely want to get rid of the spiritual, the physical leaven, but more important than that is you have to get rid of the spiritual leaven. And what's the spiritual leaven? The spiritual leaven is what has you doing, things, or what has you having thoughts and impulses that are contrary to the Most High. And that's why it's a very important time to be on point, because this is killing season. This is killing the Passover. You kill the Passover. You don't want to be the Passover. You don't want to be a person who you don't want to be the example of what not to do or how not to conduct yourself for brothers. You don't want to be the one that's like, oh yeah, I remember one Passover or one time period, whatever, this brother did this wrong. Like, you don't want to be that. You want to be as blameless as you can be, so that you can be right with the Most High, and you protect your reputation among men. Because contrary to popular belief, having a good reputation is actually ideal. You should seek to protect your reputation. I don't know when brothers started saying, yeah, it's all right, fuck what people think. No, your reputation precedes you. But that's not what the video's about. The video's about leaven. If you have the spirit of anger and hatred towards brothers, if you have the spirit of violence towards brothers, if you have a spirit that inclines you to lust after a woman, and all you have done was see her, you don't know if she has a husband or not, then these are spirits that you must get out of your system. You have to purge them out, right? And just like bread, right? What does bread do? What's the actual purpose of bread in a diet? The actual purpose of bread is to fill you up. And that's what bread does. And how does bread get to be to the point where it fills you up? Because it expands when you put yeast in it, or leavening, right? So the scripture says a little bit of leaven leaveneth the whole lump. What that means is it only takes a little bit of yeast to make bread rise. 5 times its, or whatever, however much its original size. And the same thing works with the leaven, spiritual leaven, right? All it is filling you with evil. A little bit of evil in your spirit turns into a lot of evil in your spirit, to the point where now you don't fucking recognize who you are no more. Now you're a brother who has been in the truth X amount of years and have developed a reputation for being an upstanding brother. And then next thing you know, just a little bit of leaven. And I've seen it happen with brothers before, man. I know a brother who used to be in the faith and is now a fucking witch. I know brothers who were in the faith and became Catholics. And then when you talk to them now, they're like, yeah, well, part of the reason why I'm Catholic is because Israelites started the Catholic Church. Well, that don't mean shit, nigga. Oh my goodness. All right, so yeah, but anyway, yeah, Israelites might have started the Catholic Church, but that doctrine, and I'm gonna tell y'all, I know these people personally, right? And they always had it in their spirit. They always had it in their spirit. The Catholic religion was always in their spirit. No matter how much they're next to me condemning it at camp, they're still in their spirit. The principles of the Catholic Church were there. And that's why a lot of times you got to pay attention to brothers and what rules they abide by. Because yeah, we abide by the scriptures, but there are men that favor a doctrine that, you know, for instance, these guys, one of them had a white friend while he was in the truth. And never once did he say that white friend was that he believed his white friend was an Israelite. No, his white friend was a white friend. So later on in life, he's like, you know, he's using what's that story? Not the prodigal son, but the Samaritan, the good Samaritan, to explain to me why it's okay for him to have a white friend. I mean, at least say, you know, I believe he could be Jake. You know, that'll be a little bit more reasonable, you know? But that leaven was always there. He never once said, yeah, my friends from the world were the devil. Because he had multiple. I saw his prom picture. He had a lot of white, 3 or 4, and shit, in my book, that's a lot of white friends. I didn't grow up with, well, I grew up with had a Portuguese friend, two Portuguese friends, but they weren't my friends when I was in the faith. By then, it's like F them. You know, maybe if they're Jake, you know, we could be friends again, but we don't know that yet. You know, but yeah, when you walk in this faith, when you walk in this truth, you have to be very mindful, very cautious, you know, of the leaven that's in your system. And I'm gonna give y'all a perfect example of something funny that just happened. I just went to see one of my workers at his job, and the customer comes out with a box of donuts. Hey, you want some? Nah. You want soda? Nah, thank you. You know, I try to wave him away as nice as I can, because he was really being, you know, kind. I don't like to say nice, but kind. In his mind, he was doing me a favor, but in reality, he's offering me something that this week I can't eat. You know what I mean? So, not that I would if it wasn't, because, you know, I don't need to eat no fucking donuts, but you know how it is. You know what I'm saying? But you got to get rid of leaven. You got to get rid of the things inside of your system that cause you to error, to sin, to do wrong. You know, it's more important to do that than to scan everything you eat You know, because you got brothers that are really going deep into it. Like, oh man, if this has vinegar in it, you know, and that's fine. But more important than that, scan your spirit. Look at your spirit. Make sure you don't have any leaven, because a little bit of leaveneth the whole lump. Just one little bit of a sinful disregard for the Lord can become a big disregard for the Lord. You know, the Lord might let you go on a little bit of sin, but once it becomes like, shit, fuck it, I could do this shit, and ain't who gonna check me. You know what I'm saying? Then the Lord is gonna check. That's why you can't be a human being that's hard for human beings to correct. Because if you don't want a man to correct you, then the Lord is gonna correct you. And when the Lord corrects you, boy, you gonna suffer. There's suffering when the Lord corrects you. Trust and believe. It'll hurt even more if the Lord has to check you on something. So with that, I'm going to conclude, and I'm going to say shalom to Israel. May all brothers in this faith have a very spiritual Passover, and just get your spirit right, man. Get your spirit right. Shalom.